Now going over to the business blunder of the day, you have the iconic Planters peanut being recalled. Now this is thought to us thanks to NBC News. Looks like the Mr. Peanut, his monocle perhaps is a little cracked when it comes to quality assurance inspection. Now NBC News says, quote, Planters nut recalled due to potential for listeria contamination. They note, quote, some honey roasted peanuts and mixed nuts may contain the tainted germ, which may cause serious, sometimes fatal, infectious in certain people. That's not great. Now they note that Hormel Foods is recalling 2 types of planter nuts due to the potential for contamination with its germ listeria. The manufacturer announced the recall affects certain Planters honey roasted peanuts and Planters mixed nut chip shipped to Publix supermarket warehouses in Florida, Georgia, Alabama, and North Carolina, as well as to Dollar Tree warehouses in South Carolina and Georgia. Silver lining here is that there have been no, quote, there have been no reports of illness, and the products are, quote, are being recalled out of an abundance of caution, but people should be, because they could be tainted with listeria, which can cause serious, sometimes fatal infections in certain individuals, again, according to Hormel Foods. And let's see here. Here's the actual codes of the products that were affected. You note that, quote, the recall affects 4-ounce packages of Planters honey roasted peanuts and with a, quote, best if used by date of April 11th, 2025, and a package UPC code of 290002097. It also affected 8.75-ounce cans of Planters Deluxe Lightly Salted Mixed Nuts with a best use by date of April 5th, 2026, and a UPC code of 290000161 on the side of the can. Now they also note that no other products or package sizes are included in the recall, according to the Minnesota-based Hormel Foods. Now, of course, they say customers should discard the nuts or return them to the store where they purchased them for an exchange, which, again, I don't want to say the odds of someone actually doing that is zero, but in terms, the good news, if you're, fiscally speaking, if you're someone who's invested in the company or, an employee and worried about, this might hurt your paycheck, the amount of people are going to actually go to the store to return a can of nuts, it's got to be less than 1%. Just think about how much your time is worth, and you soon find that the effort of doing most, recalls and actually going to the store and exchanging the product usually isn't even worth it, even if you're there to buy additional groceries the next week or 2 weeks, because again, you're going to stand in line, deal with someone who may not be very Johnny on the spot, as Grandpa might say, and is it really worth it to save a couple bucks? More often, I would say probably not. It's really not worth your time to do that. Now, that being said, in terms of hurting their brand, yes, absolutely a business blunder. No, thankfully, of course, no one has subsequently, no one has been hurt or too negatively impacted by this, so I guess not that bad. But still, this is one of the most iconic food properties, pretty much, I would say of all, oh yeah, I would say certainly of all time. Just like the top 50 iconic food products. Mr. Peanut, they are up there. That is brilliant branding, and it's withstood the test of time. Granted, some might say he's a little pompous because he has his fancy top hat and monocle and cane, but I like to think he's just a little bit classy. We could use that in modern society. But nevertheless, they did have a recall, and you have to, in some cases, you got to throw out the products that you recently paid for. It's not going to make consumers happy. You're going to damage that brand a little bit. So at the end of the day, the Planters Peanuts, Mr. Peanut, you are in fact the business blunder of the day. Thank you everyone for taking the time to tune in. Again, I'm trying to get to 4,000 subscribers by the end of the month, so if you could click that button, I'd really appreciate it. Especially if you click that subscribe button at Rumble, where I'm trying to grow more and more. Again, don't forget to take time to like, subscribe, and follow. Lastly, don't forget to take the time to tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, heck, tell your enemies, tell anyone and everyone. Just stay safe and fight the good fight.